Hey, what's up, Andy's leaders and all listeners? This is Travis. I am so thankful you are here. Welcome back to the Custard Campus Podcast, the show where leadership, growth, and our world famous frozen custard come together. Hey, shout out to the 7 Shifts message of this podcast. Angie in St. Louis. Love how if anything comes up, she is communicating it to everyone, the expectations of upcoming items, product, or service. Hey, clear communication is key to successful operations. Nice work, Angie. Today, we're talking about the cone. And I know what some of you might be thinking. Travis, the cone? Out of everything we do, out of the concrete, Sundays, jackhammers, custom creations, and all the crazy speed and volume we deal with, we're talking about the cone? Yes, we are. Because the cone means more to Andy's brand than most people realize. But first, today's sponsor, Custard Campus Classes, learning at its finest. Trainer classes are happening now. This takes our training to another level. Do you want to work at the most consistent company in the world with people who feel supported and love coming to work because they experience success every day? You can have all that through proper training. Sign up for the class. Now, back to the podcast. The cone is nostalgic. It's simple. It's classic. It's one of the most recognizable frozen dessert items in the world. For a lot of people, when they think about getting a frozen treat, they picture a cone before they picture anything else. That matters. The cone is not just a product. It's a symbol. It represents joy, summer, family, simplicity, childhood, and tradition. And for Andy's, that means something big. When a guest sees a cone, they're not just seeing custard in a cone. They're seeing something familiar, something safe, something they already understand before they fully understand us. That is powerful. Let me give you an example. It was huge for me. I was working in a store and we were doing everything we could to drive traffic, and it showed. But like most of you, it's never enough. Double-digit growth isn't enough. We want to get into the 20s and 30s in percentage growth, right? We had to reach people. We had to reach them in a simple way, a way that no matter who you are, you would understand what Andy's was. That's when a giant cone was lifted into the air right in front of the store. It spoke to people. It was like, build it and they will come, and they did. They came. The cone, a beacon for everyone searching for what they know and love. That is one reason the cone matters so much to the brand. It can carry a story. It can carry a memory. It can carry emotion. And when a product can do that, it becomes bigger than just a menu item. It becomes part of an identity. Now, let's go one layer deeper. The cone is also an entry point. For many guests, the cone is the first yes. It's a safe bet. It is the product that says, let me try this and see what Andy's is all about. Maybe they have never had frozen custard before. Maybe they're not ready to dive into a jackhammer with all of those mix-ins and stuff that they just don't understand it, right? Maybe they're not sure what the difference between custard and ice cream is. But they know a cone. They trust a cone. A cone is familiar territory. The first step can become the beginning of a relationship with the brand. When people are dealing with a brand or product they don't know very well, they often start with what feels recognizable and safe. That is exactly why the cone matters. It lowers the barrier. It gives the guest an easy way in. It helps them say, I know this. I can start here. And that is a huge deal because the beginning of a brand relationship matters. If the first try feels safe, familiar, high quality, and memorable, then you have a chance to earn trust. Once trust is there, the guest becomes open for more. Now they may try the sundae. Now they may try the concrete. Now they may bring friends. Now they may become loyal. That little cone can open the whole door. Think about that time you first tried something new. For me, it was at this place called Trulux. I just went back with my family last week for the 7th time, as it is now a tradition for us. We celebrate the year's birthdays for the whole family. We celebrate life. We create new memories. But let's go back to my first year. This place was new to me. I didn't know what it was all about. I knew it was a seafood place, but with so many items that were new to me, I searched for something I knew and I was comfortable with. And take this, it was a steak when I could eat steak. I know, one of the most famous seafood places, and I ordered a steak. Did they strive to provide the best steak in the world? They did. It was out of this world. And they have only wowed us ever since. I've never had steak again, unless you count a cauliflower steak, which was awesome, by the way. But I feel safe trying something new every year. This year, they literally came out and said, "Thank you for choosing us and celebrating with us every year." The server says this, "How many desserts would you like?" No limit. It was insane. I was blown away. The server was like, "It doesn't matter. I will get you whatever you want." You know, that is out of this world. Our group has grown. We spend more money and we talk it up. They know the steak is a safe option for most people, so they execute it flawlessly. So let's now talk shop. If the cone means this much to the brand, then how we handle it has to mean something too. We do not get to say the cone is important and then treat it like an afterthought. We don't get to say the cone is iconic and then hand it out sloppily. We don't get to say that the cone is an entry point and then make it average. If the cone is one of the purest expressions of the Andy's brand, then it deserves real pride. It starts with the cone itself. We start with the freshest cones. Try the cones that you have out every day. Don't assume they are good just because they're there. Know the difference between fresh and not fresh. Know the smell, the crispiness, the flavor. Know what the waffle tastes like when it's made right. Become an expert. And let me say this clearly. There's something wonderful about becoming an expert at something this specific. That is part of what great operators do. They care enough to know. They do not just pass things along. They pay attention. They become students of the details. Fresh waffles made every day. Cones checked every day. Standards lived every day. That is where the cone begins. Next, the custard has to be peak. Like all things we do at Andy's, if we want the best cone, we have to start with the best custard. Fresh, smooth, proper consistency, strong enough to dip well, beautiful enough to stand tall. That means we practice our ABCs. Always be checking. Taste the custard. Fill it with your spade. Look at it. Smell it. Check it for grains. Check that it's solid and holding up. Check that it is fresh. Everything matters here. Because if the custard is off, the cone is off. And when the cone is off, one of the purest products in our brand is off. That is not small. Then there is the art of dipping the cone. This is where pride really shows up. Custard that stands tall and proud, There's an art to dipping it at the right height, the right weight, the right look, and doing it with speed. That takes reps. That takes care. That takes throwing enough dips to get the dipper frozen up. That takes learning your trigger pulls at just the right time. That takes shaping the cone with intention so it fills the cone base and shows off all its glory with nothing hidden away down in that cone. Let it show. Let it look like Andy's. Let it look proud. When you're perfect at that art, it absolutely wows people. Crew notices, leaders notice, customers notice, because excellence is visible. Holding and presenting the cone matters. This is hospitality. This is respect for the product. This is respect for the customer. The cone does not touch counters. Waffles are wrapped in napkins. The cone is handed out with pride, not rushed, not sloppy, not like, here you go, next. No, this is presented like it's going to be the best cone they have ever tasted, because it will be. People feel the difference between being handed a product and being presented a product. One feels transactional. The other one feels like care. That is why details matter so much in our business. They communicate what we believe. And let me say this too. When a cone gets called back, that should mean something. If you truly understand its importance, you do not dread that call. You look forward to it. You get excited about the chance to hand out one of the most impactful treats Andy's offers. That is a mindset. That is a brand belief. That is saying, I know what this product means. I know what this moment can do. I know this simple item might be the beginning of a customer becoming a fan. That changes how you respond. This is why cones matter, even if they come later in training. Just because they might appear near the end does not mean that they are less important than a concrete or a sundae. Some would say they are more important. The cone is stripped down. There's no place to hide. No extra toppings doing the work for you. It is the cone, the custard, the dip, the hold, the handoff, and the pride. That is it. All that is enough. Now let's get very practical. If you want to get better, get on campus. Watch the E&E videos, play the games, review the training material. It's there for you. Use the tools. Do not just wish to be better at cones. Train to be better at cones. This is not hidden knowledge. The tools are available. The question is whether we will decide to care enough to use them. And that takes us to a bigger point. Like anything we discuss, it is up to you to change your mind and act on your decisions. That is leadership. That is growth. That is ownership. As leaders, we get to decide how our day will end. Did you just get through it? Was it worse than yesterday? Or did you get better? Even just 1%? Man, that question matters. To master anything, from cones to life, it's not going to be quick. It is going to be a decision to do better with every rep, every action, every handoff, every standard, every shift. When you change the way you think, you change the way you live. And when you change the way you think about cones, you will change the way your store runs. Because now the cone is not just another item. Now it's the brand. Now it is hospitality. Now it is training. Now it is pride. Now is the beginning of trust with the customer. Now it is a standard worth protecting. And that is one more way for your dreams to come true. All right. My heart on cones was out there today. And my goal is that you learn something today that you can use to get closer to making your dreams come true. I'm here to serve everyone, not change anything, just support great leadership and decision making. Keep engaging. Share this content. And that's it for today. If you need anything, seriously, reach out. Email me at travis@eatandys.com. And here we go. Leadership is portion control for chaos. The right amount at the right time, every time. Go win the day.